3 centuries of the Tokugawa's repressive rule, the black ships appeared without warning, and our nation began to tear itself apart.
Rise of the Ronin. Set in 1863 Japan, Rise of the Ronin will put players in the shoes of a Ronin, a samurai that lives in a morally gray area in society due to not having a master. The game was unveiled at the PlayStation State of Play event on September 13, 2022, and has already generated tons of buzz amongst gamers. From the looks of it, Rise of the Ronin is still in the middle of active development, and not much has been revealed about it thus far. But if you're familiar with the time period and a little bit of Japanese history, there is plenty to extrapolate from the early looks and press releases regarding the game. Here's everything we currently know about Rise of the Ronin. Unfortunately, if you were looking to get your hands on Rise of the Ronin in the near future, you're going to be disappointed. As seen in the reveal trailer shown at September 2022's PlayStation State of Play event, Rise of the Ronin is currently scheduled to be released at some point during 2024. This means the game will release no sooner than 16 months and anywhere up to 28 months after its original announcement, barring any kind of delay during the game's development. Also revealed in the trailer is that Rise of Ronin will be a PlayStation 5 exclusive. This isn't much of a shock, as the game looks highly advanced in terms of visuals, scope, and gameplay. And as we get deeper and deeper into the next generation of gaming, it's only natural that developers and publishers alike start to abandon older consoles like the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One.
The black ships appeared without warning, and our nation began to tear itself apart. Those who cleave to the past, those who embrace the new, and the Ronin, a warrior free of all masters and bonds.
Lies of P takes place in a twisted version of the Pinocchio world, where automatons have overrun the fictional city of Krat. Pinocchio must find Mr. Geppetto to reverse the city's ill fortune, and overcome the killer puppets to save Krat from the ruin it finds itself in. The accompanying trailer showcases the gameplay and atmosphere of Lies of P, which is extremely Dark Souls in nature and substance. The city itself feels like Yharnam from Bloodborne, and Pinocchio himself uses a variety of weapons to take on different flavors of automaton enemy. Pinocchio also uses what looks like magic while exploring the dark streets of Krat, and uses a mechanical arm to equip different skills. More intriguing is the claim that the game will feature profound narrative choices, which could be interesting if they extend past what ending you get. And the game is being built as an RPG, so hopefully we see some wildly diverging builds in how you can build up Pinocchio. Lies of P is a challenging action game with a unique life system where what you do and say as the main character dynamically affects gameplay. The game's story is a unique, darker twist on the classic story of Pinocchio. Content rating: NeoWiz. Initial release date: 2023. Publisher: NeoWiz Games. Developer: NeoWiz Games. Round 8 Studio. Platforms: PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Microsoft Windows, Xbox Series 10 and S Series, PlayStation 5. Genre: action game, computer role-playing game, adventure game, fighting game.
We meet, son. The stage is set.
The light shines brightest in the darkest of times.
All right, buddy, I'm here for you. Don't worry.
Confront your fate.
Don't give up.
Keep going.
You can leave.
Black Myth. Wukong is an upcoming action RPG developed by Chinese studio Game Science. After showcasing the title's breathtaking graphics and impactful combat in a surprise announcement last year, here's all we know about the title. It's not very often that an RPG developed by an indie game developer generates so much hype and excitement among players. Seemingly out of the blue, Chinese game developer Game Science released a 13-minute gameplay trailer back in 2020 of their upcoming RPG Black Myth, Wukong, and it's fair to say it took the internet by storm and has become one of the most highly anticipated upcoming RPGs. Now in 2021, the studio has released an official Unreal Engine 5 gameplay trailer, and it's taken the hype around the title to a new level. With breathtaking landscapes and crisp combat, Black Myth. Wukong is shaping up to be an RPG fan's dream. Unfortunately, as of yet, Game Science has not revealed the official release date for Black Myth. Wukong, but it is expected to drop in 2023. Sun Wukong is a legendary figure in Chinese mythology. Black Myth. Wukong's story and plot. At this point in time, we know very little about the specifics of the game's story. Game Science has remained tight-lipped on that aspect of the game, so we can only go off what we've seen in the 2 official trailers. Black Myth. Wukong trailers so far. Game Science has released 3 trailers for the game. One showcases 13 minutes of gameplay from 2020, another is the title's official trailer, and finally, the latest video is a gameplay trailer showing how the title is shaping up in 2021. After watching these trailers, it's easy to see why there's so much excitement surrounding the game. From the breathtaking graphics to the impactful Souls-like combat, it's definitely a game that, so far, has earned all of the hype it has received. As the title is so far away from release, it's extremely unlikely the game will arrive on the PlayStation 4 or Xbox One. But we'll have to wait and see to be completely sure. It's obvious Game Science is looking to push the graphical capabilities of all game systems to the max with this title, so it should be a sight to behold when it finally arrives. Nazrolit. The Fallen World is a story-driven, third-person, dark fantasy action-adventure game with RPG elements, focusing on a compelling narrative and exploration through a rich, strong sense of atmosphere and world, inspired by titles such as Planescape, Torment, and Dark Souls, as well as the twisted works of Zizov Beksinski and H.P. Lovecraft. Nazrolit is a deep delve into the occult realms of dark fantasy. You are Orpheal, a fallen knight hailing from a seemingly distant land. Your past is but a faint memory, hinted only through the faded adornments on your dented armor. You awaken in a cold, decrepit tomb in the bowels of a direful temple, with wounds that would have slain you 5 times over. Haunting dreams follow your thoughts, and your fragmented memory proves merciful enough for you to recollect your name, if little else. Delve into a surreal world where all sense of normalcy is fleeting. Exploration and dialogue are key aspects of Nazrolit. The choices you make and the relationships you forge will irreversibly shape your journey throughout this tattered, broken world. Lords of the Fallen. The narrative follows lone hero Harkin, who, because of his dark past, will never smile again, nor have friends or family. In this world, wrongdoers have marks of their misdeeds tattooed on their body as a reminder of their shame. And only Harkin, the most tattooed wrongdoer in the land, has the power to stop this threat. Aside from coping with all his issues, Harkin's mission is to investigate the awakening of an ancient fallen god who has been imprisoned deep below the earth. With only his arm sticking out of a vast mountain range, he has been stuck there since one final attempt at escape. Without warning, his minions have sprung forth and are wreaking havoc on the land. In an unforgiving world where no scene is ever forgotten, Harkin, a convicted criminal, is given a chance for redemption. Just when rulers of the world get close to finding a way to banish all evil from humans, an army of the long-ago defeated god attacks the human realm. Released from prison, Harkin and his mentor, Koslo, set out on a mission to stop the war. In his journey, Harkin will forge strong alliances and face even stronger enemies. He will learn the true power of the Roger Lords, commanders of God's army. He will even bring the battle to the Roger, traveling to the heart of the demonic dimension. Will the god manage to enslave humans again? Is mankind really able to banish evil? Will Harkon's sins ever be forgiven? Battles will prove tricky, with 9 weapon pools to choose from spread across 3 classes. Melee is the heart of combat and boasts a range of combos that must be mastered to fell demonic enemies with ease. Some attacks offer brief windows of invulnerability that must be used to increase your survival, as well as blocking and dodge rolls. Attack patterns must be memorized, and brutal foes must be slain against all seemingly impossible odds. Lords of the Fallen is an action role-playing video game developed by Deck 13 and CI Games. It was released in October 2014 for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Microsoft Windows. Initial release date: October 28, 2014. Designer: Timo Treffer. Mode: single-player video game. Genre: action role-playing game. Platforms: PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Android, Microsoft Windows, iOS. Developer: Deck 13, CI Games. Publisher: CI Games, Bandai Namco Entertainment.
The Lords of the Fallen. Wishlist now.
Flintlock. The Siege of Dawn is most definitely a Souls-like action RPG too. However, this magic meets gunpowder technology fantasy title seems to be a little braver than other games in the genre, as it's not afraid to be releasing with optional difficulty settings. It's not just difficulty settings that set Flintlock apart from others games in the Souls-like genre though. The close bond between Noor and Enki also allows for a unique combat system that sees you controlling both characters at the same time. Noor, an explosives expert who wields an axe and a flintlock pistol, is adept at smoothly weaving between gunplay and melee attacks to quickly kill foes. Enki is intrinsic to the flow of Flintlock's combat, and he's a useful tool whose infused magical powers allow Noor to hold enemies in place or provide crowd control. As Enki is player-controlled, this adds a unique spin to the gameplay because, unlike a normal Souls-like, you can use his powers to stop enemies attacking you if you, say, mistime a strike or need to back off to get some breathing room. There are also passive combat abilities for Enki that you can unlock during gameplay, but we weren't told what those were. Included within that video is pretty much everything I learned during that preview session, and it includes some excellent footage of 2 of the Flintlock's regions, loads of gratuitous combat, and even a look at one of its boss battles, where player character Noor and magical fox-like pal Enki face off against the God of Knowledge. Flintlock. The Siege of Dawn. Publisher: Kepler Interactive. Developer of 44 games. Platform: PC, PS, PS5, XO, XSXS, PC. Availability: early 2023.